All right, hello everyone. So shifting gears a little bit here. We talked a lot at the beginning of Unit 5 about finding common denominators and then eventually how to add and subtract fractions using the common denominators. So to get us warmed up here, what I want you to do here is find a common denominator for 3/4 and 2/8 and rewrite those fractions as fractions with the same denominator. So just a quick review, the denominator is talking about these numbers on the bottom. Okay, so the numbers on the top are the numerators, the numbers on the bottom are the denominators. So whenever we are adding or subtracting fractions, or whenever they ask us to find a common denominator, we're looking at these numbers on the bottom. So I'm going to rewrite these down here. So 3/4, we're going to set this equal to something with a common denominator on the bottom. We're going to rewrite 2/8 as something with a common denominator. So the question is, if we have a 4 and an 8 on the bottom, what is something that both of them share? So for example, what is a multiple that they would both share in common that we could use as a common denominator? So I'm going to pause right here and I'm going to let you try to figure out, first of all, what is a denominator that they share, and how do I rewrite these fractions in order to show some equivalent fractions with common denominators. So I'm going to pause. All right, so hopefully you took a chance to see if you could figure this one out. So in this case, right away, I look at 4 and 8, and obviously, like most of you, I see that, well, if I multiply 4 times 2, I can actually get to 8, okay? 4 goes into 8 twice. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use that as my common denominator. So if I'm multiplying 4 times 2 to get an 8 on the bottom, that means I also have to multiply by 2 on the top. Remember that we always have to multiply by the same number on the top and the same number on the bottom when we're finding equivalent fractions. Okay, for 2/8, well, that's simple, right? We already have an 8 on the bottom, so I'm going to keep that the same. So representing these as 6/8 for 3/4 and keeping 2/8 the same, I have rewritten these as fractions with the same denominator.